What's up, guys? UFC Vegas 108 Taira versus Park is now over. I don't know what to do with my hands. It was a pretty good card overall. There were some great moments and a couple great fights. But first, before I break down the results of the card and how I did based on my predictions, I would like to show you guys a way you can make money by watching the channel or just making picks on Tapology. You go over to Tapology.com, make an account. So you'll create an account somewhere over here, I think. Then you will come to this area, view picks, or it'll say edit picks, I think. You'll make your picks. Join our group at tapology.com/group/2048. And I have now over 100 subscribers, which was my cap, was 100. But until I'm further monetized, because I can't pay more than that. I can't afford to pay more than that over and over weekly. Because it's coming out of my pocket directly. But it's $100 weekly, and whoever the winner of the group is, and this week it is MMA Joey 69 yet again, closely followed by Fabricio and Pac-Man 77. I was fourth place, tied for fourth. Didn't do too bad this week, but if you go to tapology.com/group/2048, join the group, make your fight picks, you guys can win $100. I will try to do my best to contact MMA Joey and see if he will, or MMA Joey 69. I'm sure this isn't the real MMA Joey, and see how I can pay him. But it's through CashApp, so make sure you have a CashApp. Anyways, breaking down the card. We didn't do too bad on the card. We missed 4 of the picks, so it's probably like a 60% pick rate if I'm not mistaken. I don't really math. But we got 8 out of 12 picks right. We missed the main event, kind of knowing we were gonna miss it. I kind of jumped just because he was an underdog. I jumped on the KO for Young Sung Park. He almost got KO'd in the first round on the initial couple exchanges, and that was extremely worrisome. And then he did very well in defending himself on the ground. Didn't really ever get much separation, and then got rode out for the rest of the entire round. But sorry about that. In the in the first round, he really didn't get threatened with any submissions at all. It really wasn't too worrisome. And once he was back down in the second round, you were like, oh, well, shit, I guess, this isn't that bad. It sucks he's back on the ground, but, we can get up. The submission threat really wasn't there in the first. So he starts to work and then immediately gets submitted by a neck crank, which you were just like, wow, your submission defense was so good before, or your grappling defense was good before, but in the first round, but you got submitted by a neck crank. Normally that's really only something a big dude with like a big weight advantage can get on you, is a neck crank, but or a face crank. Pretty impressive win from Taira. Nothing too crazy. It's an unranked guy, so you kind of expected it for the most part. I should have picked him, this being a picks thing, but I went more for value, I guess, on this one. And I kind of don't really believe in Japanese fighters all that often, but I did pick one further down, you will see, and he did win. The Japanese fighters did sweep the card, which is kind of crazy. You don't really see that too often. Japanese fighters normally aren't that great, to be honest. I mean, this is dead serious. It's why I picked Young Sung Park. South Korean fighters have had a better upside, it feels like, than Japanese fighters. But Tatsuro Taira is very good. In the fights to make video I'm going to be making, I can't wait to get some matchups going. Anyways, we're going to move on to the wars that we had. Oh my God, these fights were incredible. Chris Duncan and Mateus Rebecki is what we'll start with. It was the co-main event. It's in the lightweight division. Mateus Rebecki and Chris Duncan just went to absolute war with each other. These guys, like, they landed so many big shots on each other. It was unbelievable that I'm pretty sure nobody ever went down in this fight, like got knocked down from a shot, like hurt viciously badly enough to get dropped. There might have been takedowns, but I can't quite recall. I'm pretty sure there were. But nothing too long. Yeah, there were takedowns, but nothing too long. Chris Duncan pretty much got up immediately as soon as the takedowns were happening, and didn't really get to threaten any good chokes or anything. But Chris Duncan was landing these nasty tomahawk elbows. Immediately caused a big swelling on Rebecki up top. You can immediately see it come up. Oh my God, it was horrible. And the damage, the cuts all over Rebecki's face. Rebecki got him back very good in I think in the third round, busted him up finally and started making him bleed pretty bad. I thought if you gave the first round to Chris Duncan, you had to give the third round to Rebecki for sure. And the second round, I'm just not really sure. I can't remember how I had scored it. But it was a close fight. It was a great fight. Incredible fight. I genuinely am not mad with whoever won that fight. By the way, both fights that we're about to go over, this fight and the next fight that we're about to go over, they both won fight of the night. So at least the right fights got fight of the night this time. I mean, these guys went to fucking war. They just beat the absolute shit out of each other. And, I mean, it was such a great fight. Great fight. Speaking of great fights, we stay in the lightweight division. We've got Esteban Ribovics versus Elvis Brenner. I knew this was going to be a close fight. I had a feeling there could be a finish, and it almost happened. But luckily, we got the fight picked perfectly right on this. It's not a perfect in Tapology sense, but we got it perfectly right. Ribovics by decision. He looked very good. Brenner landed some bombs on him, though. Like, these two guys went to war, much like the fight that came after this, but we talked about before this. The Chris Duncan and Rebecki fight. Another just incredible fight. These guys just stood toe-to-toe, almost never backed down from each other. They just stood in each other's faces, exchanged big shots. Esteban Ribovics threw in combination almost every single time he came into exchanges. And Brenner would load up with big shots. Like, I mean, these dudes were just beating each other, just beating the shit out of each other. It was incredible to watch. Being a fan of the sport felt like it finally paid off again. It felt like it's been so long since we've had fights like this and the Chris Duncan fight. These fights are what an MMA fan wants. Thank you so much to you guys. Like, you guys were incredible, amazing performances. Hats off to you guys. I'm glad Dana White gave you guys the bonuses. Hopefully he gives you a little extra bonuses as well, because you guys deserve it, man. Incredible performance from Ribovics. I'm just astounded at the fights that happened here and here. These were incredible fights. Carol Hosa defeats Nora Cornoli by decision. I'm pretty sure it was a 30-27. She outstruck her and outgrappled her. It was just a overall decent performance from a women's MMA fighter that you don't see it too terribly often. Never really threatened any finishes at all on the feet or on the ground. Nothing too terribly impressive. It was a good underdog pick, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this was an underdog. Carol Hossa was a underdog. I had a couple underdogs here in a row that you're gonna see. I had Carol Hossa and Neil Magny both as underdogs, and both correct. Um, Good performance from Carol Hossa. You like to see it, especially being another ranked contender in the women's divisions. Moving on to Neil Magny versus Elizio Zaleski dos Santos. Neil Magny getting a finish over Alessio dos Santos, especially having the round one. Dude, Neil Magny is just kind of a comeback kind of fighter. If he if he starts to ramp it back up, he's gonna come back against you, and probably he can finish you. Every now and then he does finish these guys. Neil Magny mounts him, lands some serious ground and pound, and gets to the finish. I picked not a submission, a decision. I thought that Neil Magny wouldn't quite be able to finish Zaleski, but man, did he prove me wrong in that sense. But prove me right and pick. Very good fight, great performance from Neil Magny. He definitely had to come back though. He had a rocky performance in the first round. Definitely a Zaleski round, but Neil Magny won the fight. Moving to the featherweight division, we had another great fight, dude. This was fight of the night on any other fight card other than this, especially this year. These past couple of years, we just don't get fights like how this card was. This card was outstanding. Like in fights, like there were times where like the card would ramp up and then it would just like it would hit a dead point, like the Carol Hossa fight or there's a couple fights where it deadened out, but it's okay, that happens. It's fighting. It's gonna be random. But this was a great night of fights. This would have been fight of the night, like I said, on any other night this year. But Kevin Vallejos versus Danny Silva, absolute banger. These dudes went to war. Kevin Vallejos comes out in his Ilia Topuria, like very boxing-esque style, very lead foot heavy, combination heavy, good body shots, just looked so fucking good. And then Danny Silva just blockhead, absorbed it all, just ate it all. I thought there was going to be a finish, and in the second round during my stream, I deleted it, but I said that there's no way he's gonna finish him now. It was in the second round. It was like very early in the second round, like 1 minute in. I was like, there's no way Vallejos finishes him now. This dude's chin's incredible. His blockhead's way too big, and everybody that was with me agreed. Like he just incredible chin performance from Danny Silva. I want to see this dude against Josh Emmett. Like that's his next fight. I know it's a step up, but it's just kind of what I want to see. No, all jokes aside, incredible performance from Vallejos. Great fight from Danny Silva. He really fought back and performed and gave that warrior spirit. Showed that he was here to fight back, but it was a pretty clear performance pretty clear win in the performance from Kevin Vallejos. Very impressive. I thought the fight was just a great performance, but Danny Silva did land some big shots back. Like he landed some good shots in there, and man, this card was so good, man. I keep saying it, but I love this card. It was incredible. Kevin Vallejos, just incredible fighter, man. I can't wait to see his future. Moving to the bantamweight division, we had Rinya Nakamura defeating Nathan Fletcher by round 1 knockout. Vicious body kick, gets toes right into the ribs, or right under that floating rib, right in the liver. Beautiful shot. Just he got it right under, snuck it perfectly in, and then the toes just got him. Beautiful shot. Nathan Fletcher crumples over, and then Nakamura he doesn't crumple over immediately, but he like winces up and starts just like crunching over, and then just rolls to the ground, and Rinya Nakamura just comes over and beats him down. Impressive finish from Rinya Nakamura. especially bouncing back from his first loss ever. I kind of called this victory. I thought it would happen this way. A lot of people were picking Nathan Fletcher. I'm not saying that he was an underdog, that Randy Nakamura was an underdog. I think he was a betting favorite, but I think that Nakamura was the. I think Nakamura was the Tapology underdog, if you will. So picking against him on here, at least, was kind of not really being done all that often, if I remember right. Saw a few YouTubers, at least, doing so. Moving on, anyways. Rodolfo Vieira defeats Tresean Gore via decision. Cut Tresean Gore from the company. He got outstruck by a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt or world champion. And sure, he did look impressive in doing the striking, Rodolfo, I mean. But, you know, you can tell it's just not, like, extremely high-level striking. He landed big shots, but nothing too crazy. He just picked apart Tresean Gore. It was a good fight, but just nothing great. This is one of those, like, kind of mid fights overall. A lot of takedown attempts that were failed. Nothing really too big and significant landed. Nobody got wobbled or hurt really badly, if I'm remembering right. A good performance, but just cut Tresean Gore from the company. He doesn't need to be here. He's just here for paychecks for guys. Speaking of, cut Nick Klein from this company. Andre Pulaev defeats Nick Klein via KO in the very second round. Nick Klein comes in, does a solid little performance, gets some takedowns in the first round. Looks good early, but you can immediately tell he's slowing down quickly. And by the second round, you notice, like, this dude ain't going to make it. Pulaev starts landing some big shots. I don't remember what he lands on him to get him down, but he lands something big and starts landing some big shots after. Just Klein just gives up, quits. I would like to see him cut from the company. This is another guy who just doesn't need to be in the UFC. There's no point. Because Pulaev was one of those guys who I was thinking was that way. It's why I picked Nick Klein to win. And I was very bullish in picking him. I didn't want to pick him. I was like 50-50. You can go back and check. I did not want to pick this guy, but I thought his grappling might change the flow of the fight for Pulaev. But he got up every time very well, defended everything very well after the takedowns happened. But yeah, cut Nick Klein. Pulaev, keep him around, I guess. We'll see what he can do next. Maybe we give him, I don't know. We'll figure it out here in a little bit. Or I will. Moving on to Austin Bashi defeating John Giannis by submission. Very, very impressive performance from Austin Bashi. He did what he was supposed to here in this fight. Didn't get cracked by the big shots from John Giannis that he was capable of getting cracked by, especially with how vulnerable he looked on the feet whenever he had fought in the past. Because John Giannis does have some serious power. Like, he KO'd a dude after he had kind of gassed out in the second round. Like, landed one shot and it flatlined the guy. So I think his power was pretty serious, and I did worry for Bashi. Like, I wasn't super confident, but I had a feeling grapplers were going to kind of dominate this card. Bashi looked very good, though. Like, during all of his grappling sequences, I loved seeing that he was working shots, just always sitting there hitting his opponent, just constantly hitting him, working. And what was very impressive is I kind of noticed it. I was like, wow, he's doing a lot of ground and pound. Why is he not going for any chokes? Like, he hasn't tried a single choke, and we were like 2, maybe 3 minutes in. It might have been 2 minutes in. He started working, he was still going, and I started to notice it. I was like, we're like 2 minutes in, and he's not doing any chokes. And as soon as I thought that, I started seeing him, like, placing his hand a little more and more, and just kept punching him. Then I saw more and more, and great job getting the choke in. Incredible performance from Austin Bashi. He did the performance he was supposed to, especially after another loss. These guys who got fraud checked that were great grapplers on this card early in their career all won, if I'm not mistaken. They all looked very good. Great performance from Bashi. I can't wait to see his next fight. Hopefully we get him back in very, very quickly. This was a quick fight. He did not take any punishment. I would love to see another fight from him very, very soon. I would like to see him back in, honestly, in like October, maybe November. November at the latest, please. Give me a good birthday present on an Austin Bashi fight, honestly. Rafael Estevam defeating Felipe Bunez by decision. Felipe Bunez just, after the first round, he completely stopped knowing how to stop takedowns. It wasn't that it was an incredibly great performance from Estevam, although he did look much better on the feet than he normally does, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember him looking that good, and I don't remember his gas tank being as good as it was. It was a very, very solid performance from Estevam, but, it's Felipe Bunez. It's another one of these guys like who I was on the verge of wanting to cut. I didn't want to cut him because of his losses were only to like good high-level fighters. So I thought that this was, one of those guys who maybe he was only just losing to extremely high-level fighters. But with this loss now to Rafael Estevam, I kind of want to see him cut from the UFC. Maybe give him one more fight, not against a guy like Tim Elliott or anything like that level of fighter. But I don't know. Even that would be probably a hard fight for him. Actually, Tim Elliott might beat him. Anyways, let's move on to the first fight of the night and the final one we will speak of. Piera Rodriguez defeats Caitlin Souza by decision. I joked around on my live stream, said that this was a robbery. It was a close fight. They just kind of struck at range and didn't do too much. Piera Rodriguez landed a lot of knees to the body, if I'm not mistaken. Was making Caitlin Souza kind of look foolish with that. But, she landed some good strikes back. It was nothing too impressive from either fighter. I wasn't super impressed. I wasn't too mad at the decision either. I think Piera Rodriguez did win the fight, if I'm not mistaken. Like, in my head, too. Like, I was like, oh, yeah, she won when we were going to the scorecards. Solid performance. I'll see who. I'm not matching her up with anybody. Don't expect her to get matched up on this every fight's to come. Every fight's to make after this fight night. Don't expect that. She's not making it. Anyways, congratulations to MMA Joey. You're the winner of this week's card. You're the winner of the $100. If you want to claim it, you feel free to come down in the group section. You come to the winner of the weekly group, put in your information from CashApp, just your username so that I can send you the money. I'll message you on Tapology as well so that maybe you'll claim it. Anyways, guys, I will see you guys in the Every Fight to Make video come tomorrow. I should make it in the morning. And then I will be doing my next predictions video, and we'll be doing a fight companion for next week. Have a great rest of the week, guys. And well, that's barring actually, I have a lot of stuff that's going on in my personal life right now that'll probably be over this next week or two. So barring all like craziness in my life, content may come to a halt for a second, but it's not going to be permanent, I promise. Anyways, have a great day, guys. Have a great week. Uh, take care of your mental health. I love you guys.